In what has quickly become a storm across both the South African and international media space, Democratic Alliance (DA) leader John Steenhuisen has dropped a bombshell statement regarding the growing number of Afrikaners and other South African citizens who have left the country for what they believed would be a better life abroad, particularly in the United States. The remarks came during a press briefing in Cape Town, where Steenhuisen addressed issues related to immigration, national brain drain, and the so-called expat dream that many white South Africans have clung to in recent years. Without mincing his words, Steenhuisen called out the stark contrast between the fantasy sold to would-be migrants and the harsh realities now being reported by South African families overseas, specifically, a group of 49 Afrikaners currently struggling to survive in rural parts of Texas and Arizona. Weary watching families who once had stable lives in South Africa now finding themselves jobless, undocumented, and trapped in a system that never promised them what they thought it did, Steenhuisen said. This isn't the rainbow they were chasing, it's a mirage. Over the past 5 years, a growing wave of South Africans, many from the Afrikaner community, have packed up and left, citing fears of rising crime, political instability, and economic uncertainty. For some, the United States represented a land of safety and opportunity. For others, it was an ideological escape, a place where they hoped to reconnect with conservative values and rebuild lost identities. But for the 49 Afrikaners Steenhuisen referenced, the American dream has quickly turned into a sobering nightmare. Reports from US-based community centers and immigrant rights groups paint a bleak picture: families living in cramped trailers, unable to access proper health care, struggling to enroll their children in schools, and constantly fearing deportation due to visa complications. Some, hoping for asylum based on persecution claims, now find themselves entangled in the notoriously slow and unforgiving American immigration system. In his most direct tone yet on the matter of immigration, Steenhuisen warned South Africans not to fall for false promises sold on social media and expat forums. There's this growing narrative that you can just pick up, fly overseas, and build a new life, but the truth is, without proper planning, resources, and legal frameworks, you're stepping into a world of uncertainty, exploitation, and isolation, he stated. He further suggested that the South African government, regardless of party in power, had failed to adequately educate citizens on the legal and logistical dangers of unstructured migration. Interestingly, Steenhuisen's comments were not just directed at the migrants themselves, but also at those who encourage them. He slammed so-called immigration influencers, online personalities who present an overly glamorized view of life abroad while downplaying the mental toll, legal risks, and cultural alienation that migrants often experience. As clips of Steenhuisen's statement spread online, reactions were split. Some applauded the DA leader for finally saying what needed to be said, while others accused him of being insensitive to the plight of people who had felt pushed out of their own country. "We didn't come here because we hated South Africa, we left because we were scared. But yes, I'll admit, this life is not what we expected. It's lonely, it's hard, and we're invisible here." Meanwhile, ANC and EFF leaders remained mostly silent, though internal sources hint at discomfort around the DA's ability to dominate the national conversation with such a poignant and emotionally charged issue. Steenhuisen ended his speech with a plea, not to shame those who've left, but to challenge South Africans to invest in fixing what's broken at home rather than chasing foreign illusions. The answer is not to flee, it's to fight. Not violently, but through civic duty, through vote, through accountability. South Africa's future doesn't live in Texas or Florida. It lives right here, with us. As this story continues to develop, many are asking, is this the beginning of a national reckoning about immigration and the illusion of escape? And for the 49 Afrikaners caught in a no-man's land of immigration policy and broken dreams, will South Africa, or the US, offer them any real way out? Only time will tell. But for now, One thing is clear, the expat fantasy is cracking, and Steenhuisen just exposed the fracture line.